April. These are the little lip balm purses that I set up. This is an old file and I just redid it to use the Cricut in there. I saw on Pinterest where somebody had done one of these using like the Louis Vuitton and things like that. And I thought how cute that would be with Cricut. So I went in and found my old file and I revamped it a little bit because now we have um, in our shapes, we have the open-ended circle and didn't have it in that old file. So I kind of cleaned it up and made it better, and or I think it's better. I don't know what size theirs are on um, Pinterest, but I was like, it doesn't really matter. You can make it whatever size you want. You just have to be aware of your widths right here if you're doing EOS or if you're doing a standard chapstick. Now, I haven't seen any with the EOS in there, but because of the way the card is made, kind of like a step card in the center, um, an EOS will fit in there. So I kind of added this one in. It wasn't in my old file. So I have spread out these little end tabs, and you'll see when we go to make them, so that an EOS will fit in there. So there is just a slight difference. That is the only difference, is where these pieces are spaced, okay? Everything else is the same. Now these pieces right here, you'll have to figure a way to separate them from this when you do it. What I generally do is just hide these, cut everything, and then come back and hide everything else and unhide these and do these, because I cut these from vinyl to wrap around the chapsticks. But you can make them whatever you want. The size is there. I did shorten it down. The ones I did were a little bit bigger, so I had to trim mine a little bit, and you'll see that too. But I have corrected it for you. That was added in too. Let's see. And you could use paper instead of vinyl, but I'm using the Cricut printable vinyl on mine. So when you send it over, you'll need to separate that. Can you get two out of one print, then cut? And I'm just going to change my canvas here just to show you so that you guys can see that these are set up print cut. There's a whole cut here and one cut here. So I had to go through and slice these little images right here for this center. And in order to do that, I welded these as close as I could get them so that they would cut well. You might hear your machine just kind of go around it just slightly, but it's okay. It cuts fine, and I'll show you that too when we get over to making it. But you can get two at a time on print and cut with these. These, again, are going to be cut separate, so we're not going to worry with those. And the way that I did it, when I did mine, of course, I'd cut another one. Bring in a shape, and you know your print and cut size is 6.75. So I'm going to type in 6.75 with that unlocked. And then here I'm going to put 9.25. So that is my print and cut area. So I can take this and I can rotate it 90 degrees and bring that to the front and just place it there. And then I'm just going to duplicate it. And I'm going to rotate it 180. I think it might be 270. Oh, 270. So I've got that one there, and I can bring it right in here. And then, of course, you can duplicate this one and bring it here. This one, let me bring that to the front. And this one here. So you can get two on one print and cut there of these little decorative pieces, or you can use your own pattern paper. You don't have to use this. I'm just going to undo. I just wanted to show you that. Let's get our undos going there. And undo. And we'll get rid of that. Now, also, I did mine. It says happy crafting here. I didn't do it on the one I'm going to assemble here because I'm going to write a message. You can write a message here. You can write a message up here where this is. You have plenty of room for that. Move that back over. Plenty of space. This is the one for the standard chapstick. That's the one for EOS. I just left them that way in the file. This image I got out of Access. and I changed the colors to be colors that I had in the file here. And what I'm going to do is bring it over, if you're going to use that or whatever image you're going to use, get your image, size it up, and the line center horizontally. Now you don't want to flatten at this point. The first thing you want to do is you want to get your square and you want to detach your score lines, okay? Then you want to select just those two and flatten, and then you're going to arrange and send that to the back. Notice I'm not I'm not moving anything. I don't want to mess with any of that. And then I'm just going to select my score lines after I've flattened, and I'm going to attach them back. And now that's ready for print and cut. So make sure whatever image you're using that you're doing that. Detach your score lines, flatten your image, line it up and flatten it. Then go back, send it to the back, and attach your score lines without moving, because this is not set at center. Because this piece comes up, you'll want to make sure if you move it whatsoever, then it will be off when you try to put that back on because of the height. I believe that bottom line is scored at, if you rotate it 90 degrees, this first line has to be on the 2.5-inch mark, I believe. I'm pretty sure that that's right. 2.5, and then I think that one's, I don't even remember. But I believe this one is at 2.5, this bottom one here. So if you were to rotate it, if you happen to move it and you need to change it, put your image on the 0, 0 position. Oops. Put that on the 0, 0 position right here. And then you can make sure that where you're detached right here, it is on 2.5 and 3.25. So that line has to be on 2.5, and this one on 3.25. And then this one is, of course, center vertically, and then it's butted up to the 2.5-inch line. It would go on the 2.5 as well. All right. So just in case you move it, you have that information. And I'm going to undo all of that. I want to leave the file intact. And then right here, if you want to use this for, if you want to use these images for your other things and you want to enlarge it, you have to remember there's a hole cut in this, and then there's a cutout here. But I have all of the pieces I used to make it. All you have to do is set up your style, how you want them lined up in there. Once you have them all lined up and you have it the way that you want it and it looks good to you, then you can go in and select and change pieces and change the colors. So super easy and simple, but if you're not going to do that, you can just hide this before you cut. I just wanted to be sure that they were in the file for you in case you needed to add pieces, or you wanted to make maybe this bigger or smaller and add some more in, you would have those pieces to do it with. So let's go over and go to the overhead and put one of these together, because you have to be careful when you're putting your glue in. So let's take a look at that. And yes, I'm still drinking my coffee this morning. You see all my scribble notes and sizing and stuff. I did a box yesterday and I was trying to figure out how I wanted that box to look. That's the single shot glass box, and I changed the sizes, all sorts of stuff. That's the way my brain looks inside sometimes. Now, when you do one of these, you think maybe you're only going to do one, like I did here, you can get your card, your center card out of your print and cut card. So I did my print and cut, got my little pieces here out of there, and then I carefully just put my mat back in. I didn't take this off the mat, and I placed my image on the mat over in here. Now, if you're scared to do that, just be careful. A worst case scenario, you have to do another one. Now, if you added a print and cut on here, you won't be able to do that because it's going to go in with your print and cut. But you can get two cards out of there. So if you've got that scrap, don't throw it away. You can get both of those out. You can get a second one out here. So don't throw those away. And then, of course, I have my vinyl. This is one, like I said, I did several of them, so I'm just going to use one, even though those are slightly too big. But this is what they look like when they're finished. How cute are those? And we're just going to pull that up. And this is the EOS. You can see that it's in there. And Happiness is Crafting. And I've got my vinyl on there. Super cute. Easy close. And then here is our Happiness is Craftiness. Now this was a mock-up. This is too tight. I tried to tighten it down a little bit and I thought, no, that's just too much. So I revamped it and it is the same other than these pieces where they cut, where your open-ended circles cut. So you've got a score line across and I'm just going to fold everything. Go right across gently. And then the second one, I'm going to go across that. So it's folded just like this, nothing major, okay? You're going to pop up that open-ended circle and fold it back, and the same on this end. And then right here in the center, you're going to push that up. Okay, I'm just pushing that in with my finger and rotating that back just slightly. Oops, gotta lay, I forgot, you have to lay those pieces back down. And then you're just going to pinch that in there. Give it a pinch. You don't need to use your bone folder on it, just pinch it, okay? So then it's going to look like that, okay? You got your little book. See there? Super easy. Then we have this piece, 2 score lines. And I accidentally used my double wheel. I wasn't paying attention this morning. Fold on the 2 score lines, and then right here. We used to have a gap in between there, and it wasn't very clean because we had to slice a smaller circle from there. But with the open-ended circle we have now, it's nice and clean. I love it. So super easy and simple. I'm going to flip this back over, and I'm going to glue my pieces on. I'm using art glitter glue, dries matte and clear. I just love the Louis Vuitton Cricut. It's in the Louis Vuitton style, but it's all Cricut. And my glue wants to mess me. It was coming out so well last night too. I've lost my pen. There it is. Let's see if we can get, there we go. So I'm just gonna get some glue on there. Pay attention to those corners. You don't want those to lift. And then I'm just gonna dot a little on the handle. Right. And then the one without the slit in it, of course, goes up here. Pretty easy to line up. You just want to center that handle up right in the center. If you get that handle right, the rest of it's going to fall in place. And then we've got a little bottom piece. Under my nail there. You want to line that one up. Give it its space. Get it nice and centered. Keep your edges even. And then the last one. And we're going to dab that handle a little bit. And same thing, if you line up that slit, which is exactly the same as that one, you get that lined up, the rest of it's going to fall into place. And you can check if you can see it there. It may be off slightly. So just adjust it. Super easy. We're almost done. And then you have this piece. And of course, this slit is a little bit bigger, and that's to give you some play in that one, because sometimes depending on the material you use, it could shift it just a little bit. So you're going to flip this over, make sure that those two pieces are folded out, and you're going to put glue on this solid area right here, these 4 solid areas on each side of your open-ended circles, okay? And then we're just going to bring that in, line it up horizontally, make sure that it's closing well. We're just gonna give that a second to dry. Super easy. Give that a second to dry. And while that's drying, got me a chapstick here, and I'm just gonna peel off one of my vinyls. And again, mine's a little bit large, so we're just gonna start. Mine's gonna go over the end here because it's easier than trying to clip it off this end. It's not gonna hurt anything. And it's just a sealed chapstick so that they can peel that off and then they can know that it's sealed and they can use it. Just wrap it right around, okay? And then we're going to come in here, now that that's set a little bit, and we're going to put glue, get those corners, because they'll have stress on them. And then we're going to fold that back. Just make sure that it's in there nice and tight. And then you're going to do this side. Get those corners too. I'm lifting up. And then I'm just giving it a good push down. Make sure that I've got area in that slit. Let's see. It's not that much bigger, but slightly bigger. So you should see the little brown all the way around. Or whatever color base. You can use any color base that you want. Then you're going to, you could do this either way. You could fold it all the way back and slide your chapstick in and then let it come back up, or you can fold it too and try to pick it out, which is hard because you have to push this one over. So one of them is going to be a little loose. Super easy and cute. And again, the EOS will fit in there. These are just adjusted out for the EOS. Close it. You pull this tab in between the handles, and then you just, with your finger in there, just tuck it and push up on that bottom, and it's going to close. How cute. And you can put little tags on there, hang them from the handles. Super easy. I hope you guys enjoy this file. Happy Monday, happy crafting, and I will catch you guys on Thursday, live, 7 p.m. on YouTube. Have a great day.